Hi guys, it's Steve with Ringing Steel. I'm here working on this whole video series of how to do a professional stippling job. Excuse my rooster, he's outside being obnoxious. So we have this Glock 21 here that we're working on. We're practicing to get to the point where we're going to actually produce the product that we want to produce. Some of the steps along the way, we've worked on flat stuff, we've worked on radius stuff, you know, this little garden light. Some of the stuff you haven't seen is I, like you guys, I hope, have been practicing and recognize that it takes a little practice to do a good job. So in light of that, we are here with some things that we're going to be working on today, trying to get to this point. So we're going to be working on this grip, right? That's what we're after. So instead of working on that, we're going to set that off to the side right now. Here we have a drill. I think this is a Walmart brand. I think. I don't know for sure. If I'm wrong, let me know. Jump into the comments. But we're gonna work on this because it's a grip, right? So I have gone in and I've drawn some lines. Pick your reference points, right? So you see this line here. I chose the bottom of this little radius because I'm going to use this line here that comes down. But the bottom of that radius, and I took it up to this point up here, so that gave me that line. Then to get this line, I picked a spot down here. We'll talk about that in a moment. And also to this point right here, and I drew that line. So now to pick this, I looked at the apex of this curve, right? Now it's not a big deal when you're dealing with a drill, but when you're dealing with a firearm and the recoil, you don't want any stippling up above, up in here, because it'll just tear up your hand as the gun recoils. So find the apex of the curve, go 1/8 to 1/4 inch, depending on, you know, your tastes and look and whatnot, but go below that apex of the curve. That way you're below the pivot point. When the gun recoils, it won't tear up your hand. So you select that point. Then I went to on the other side and I selected the same point because we wanted the same points. We want to keep everything symmetrical. So when you're choosing your reference points, pick something that is on both sides of your grip. And then down here at the bottom, we're just going to go with the line that's already there. So let's jump right into it. Don't forget your safety glasses. Got my steel wool here to wipe stuff off. My iron's good and hot. Turn on the fan. And we're just going to go in here and we're going to try to draw a straight line right along that first line that we did. You're going to try to, at no point do you want to tip your iron this way of the line. You always want to try to keep it this side because we're going to stipple inside of that border. So we're just going to emboss a little border right here. Let's set that down so it's not moving. And if you are short of the line, you can always go back and touch it up, but if you go over the line, it's going to mess with your whole thing. So you want to just try to, if you're going to mess up, err on the side of caution. Okay, so now we're going to, sorry about bumping my head on the camera, you guys have the best view. So now we're going to turn, we're going to go the same way right down that line, that straight line that we have right here. So you can see it. It's part of the original molding. Now if you do go over and wipe out your line, you want to try to wipe it out the same amount the whole way. But ideally you don't want to. I'm going to wipe my tip off here. Now we're just going to try to keep going around here. Now here I went from the bottom of that curve and I went down to this little line right here. I drew myself a nice straight line. And my angle change there. This is why we practiced on that radius stuff. From right down to that point. So now we've started at this corner here, and I probably should have started at this border because I'm going to leave those borders in there. Okay, so now I'm just going to continue on around the gun here, around the grip. Sorry, I realize I am not working on a gun. It's hard to see my line. There we go. Right up to that point, right? So now here we're going to go up this same line. Turn. You can see how this practice has come in handy that you've done on everything else. Now we're doing this line here. Right up to the corner. Now see here, I was, let's see if you can see that. Down right about there, I was a little shy of my line, right? So I can go in and I can touch that back up. Now I'm right true to my line, right? Okay, so now we're going to come along, we're going to come over here, we're going to bring this one down to that border right there. Wipe our tip off, right? So, now we've got those lines established up top there. Now we're going to come along down here on the bottom. We've got this mold line right here that we're going to work with. We're going to maintain that line, but we want it to look like all the rest of our lines, so we're just going to emboss right over the top of it. Consistency is key. If you do one thing to one side, I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. A very difficult angle here. Sorry, that wasn't quite on camera. Wipe our tip. Okay, and again, I'm not too terribly worried about things, wipe my pointer off, over here on this side of the line, because that's all going to get stippled. What I'm worried about is this side of the line right here. Alright? Back in here with our iron. Slowly work our way around there. Sorry, that's focusing on the wrong thing. There we go, that helps. And all that gunk and goop, come on, focus. There, you can see it on the tip right there. You want to get all that stuff off. Okay, so now we've created that border. Okay, so now we've done all of the black. We're about ready to switch over because I got a line. Set my iron down. Got a line right here on the that's gonna go around the back. That's red. It's a different color. Sorry, here's the. There we go. Different color, so you don't want to really stipple your black into your red or your red into your black. So now make sure you wipe your tip off before you switch colors. So we'll start on this side, that way I can drag it to me. We're just going to come in here. This is a more rubbery, takes the heat a little better. So because of that, we got to move a little slower. So now we'll keep that in mind when we actually get to stippling this thing. One of the things we might do right here, turn our heat up a little bit. So when we're stippling the red, you don't end up with these fuzzies. See them. Now see, I'm going to come in here and I'm just going to dress back up to this line a little bit. And we're just going to work our way around here. This is one of the places that you're going to really feel your texture, so you don't really want to mess that up in that area, you know, right on the back strap. I got a whole video on practicing for the front and the back strap. You want to check it out, just click on the video in the corner. Okay, so So there's our line in the red. We can come in here with my steel wool and knock those little points off that rubbery stuff. Okay. So now here on the black, we're just gonna do that random drag or the random dot. I can feel as I'm doing this that I did not turn my temperature down after I did the red. There's a difference in the plastic. You don't really want to run over your borders, but it's okay if you do. You can fix it. See, I ran over my border. Let me get my magnifiers out of the way so I can see what I'm showing you. Right there, oh, wrong way. Right there, just a little bit. You can go ahead and fix that. Alright, again, like I said, you guys have the best view of this whole situation. If I could show you exactly through my eyes what I'm doing here. You can just get into a rhythm, you know, and I know that it's not taking me long on this particular plastic. So I'm up and down pretty fast, in and out. I'm going to do something different on the red. So I'm just looking at this and I'm going in, and anywhere I see anywhere that I missed, I'm trying to hit that. Like, there's a spot right there at the tip of my iron that I'm going to hit. Let's see, I don't know if you can see that, I accidentally bumped the red a little bit, picked a little bit of red up, left a little bit of black on the red, and now it's stippled into that. You really want to be careful on that situation. But, you know, if you're just after a quick grip, which is kind of what I'm doing here, you really just almost don't care, but I can't condone just not caring how your gun looks. So take a little bit of pride in your work, folks. And something you can do is go ahead and leave some of those open spaces. If you do it enough and randomly, it might look pretty okay. You know, this is down here at the bottom. You know, it's not near as thick. I gotta go in and fill it in because it doesn't match the top. I really hope you guys can see. I know this is kind of boring, sitting here watching this. Part of that is to kind of help you to understand that there is a lot of practice that goes into doing this right. And change my angle here a little bit, so I'm really going to try to not change my angle too much. So then, yeah, you just want to go in and make sure there's nothing there that you can see that needs filled in a little deeper. So now we kind of got that situation. We stayed inside our lines here and in here, stippled inside that. They're still going around the border down here. We can do that real quick. And see, it doesn't take long. You know, there in about, I don't know, 7 minutes I did about half the black, which is the majority of the gun, right? Majority of the grip, again, excuse me. So now I'm going to switch it up a little bit. Here on the red, we're going to do a random drag. Like I said, I just wipe that. Make sure you wipe your tip off. Because I want something a little more grippy. That's the part you're actually, fingers wrap around. That's the part you're actually going to be gripping. We're just working around that. And I'm not too terribly concerned that this particular, I don't know, chemistry of plastic, it's really rubbery, and I don't think it's going to hold the texture that you really kind of want. It seems to just kind of flake off. It doesn't stand up. Like now you can really kind of see after I went through there. But it's really, it's the technique that I'm after. Like that's what we're practicing. If I were to move to the black plastic, let me wipe my tip off again, and do this same technique. See, that's the nice thing about working on stuff like this. You can just stipple anywhere you want. Like I'm outside my lines down here right now, because I want to see that texture that I want her to see. that I want to feel. That way, if you're working on your Glock, this is the stipple job that you're after. Now I can feel that. Point it the right way so you can kind of see it. Right, that's kind of the texture that we were working on here on the front. That to focus. But what raised up from melting it didn't just flake off because of the chemistry of the plastic. So we just kind of keep, wipe my tip off here. We just kind of keep working our way around that. Something I can do here too, I feel like and I'll experiment with this, I can go deeper and spend longer in it. See if I get a better texture out of this rubbery plastic. And if that doesn't give me what I want, I really don't care, because this isn't what my guns are made out of. Again, like I said, it's the technique that I'm really after. Okay. Yeah, that got a little better. And so that's, again, experiment. So then I just go in here and I do the same thing on the back and just keep wrapping it around. And that would be your practice. So thanks for tuning in and checking it out. Thanks for practicing. Thanks for trying to do the best job that you can and create the best work that you can. Take pride in your work. Make something that you're going to be proud for people to see, not just something that works, kinda. I see a guy at the range all the time and he's got this Glock wrapped in duct tape and skateboard tape, and man, it is the ugliest thing, but it works. But man, it is the ugliest thing, and it becomes a conversation piece because it is so ugly. So don't be that guy. But yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe. We are going to get to this Glock next. The next situation I think we're going to work on is cutting some borders and maybe looking at the effects of different tips. So far we've worked on the flow tip, we've worked on this little pointed tip. We have a whole lot of other tips that we can check out and see what we can get out of them. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave a comment if there's anything that you would really like to me to elaborate on or go any deeper on, or all that fun jazz. So thanks for checking us out. Have a good night.